G'day, my name is Brandon, and the past weekend I took on an experience which has, gosh, for lack of a better phrase, changed my life. And I went on the Ultimate Relationships weekend facilitated by Larry, Bronwyn, Bear, and Julie. And what can I say? My world's been rocked. You know, I'm a single man, and you'd think that a relationships weekend would be strictly reserved for those that are in relationships, but Larry and Bronwyn had a different idea, and they wanted to open up this experience for couples and singles so that the singles could get an understanding of how they've turned up in their past relationships and how they can do things differently going forward. Now, I'm the type of person who's always been hard on myself for how I've turned up in my past relationships, and I look back on those experiences, or I have looked back on those experiences thinking, like, you idiot, what were you even thinking? Doing that, saying that. But what Larry, Bronwyn, Julie, and Bear helped me understand was that that's all just part of the journey. That the way I turned up and the way I did things was just merely me being a human being and a young man learning as I was going. But now I have so much more confidence and so much more, so much of a better understanding of the person I am in the mirror, so that when I turn up for that next relationship, I don't have to worry because I have the tools now to just be myself. And my biggest takeaway from this weekend, more than anything, was that although it seemed like for me in relationships it was about me going far above what was expected in relationships, I've learnt now that the best way that I can turn up is by loving myself first, which at first seemed quite counterintuitive, but after the weekend transpired and watching the couples and the relationships and the other singles go through the processes, go through the different experiences, it really made it clear to me that it really does come down to self-love. Understanding it is one thing, practicing it is another, and so I'm excited now to have the tools from the weekend to put those into practice, and I can only imagine what my life is going to look like and my relationships are going to look like going forward. So if you're like me and you're a single that is looking to just do things differently and you're afraid to get in a relationship because you're afraid of making the same mistakes that you've made in the past or being victimized the same way you have been in the past, honestly, you have nothing to lose. Get in touch with Larry and Bronwyn and Julie and Bear, and I promise you, I absolutely promise you that it'll be one of the best decisions you could ever make.